guys, it's Sheila. Welcome back to my channel. If you guys watched my last video, you saw that I did a kind of review on the A5100, and I told you guys that I was about to sell it to get the SONY A7II. So it is finally here. I'm going to do the unboxing with you guys today, so I'm super excited. I can't wait to open this box. It is just so freaking pretty. You guys have no idea like how long I've waited to get this camera, and I actually wanted the A7 III, but that's just too much of like a, you know, moonshot, if you will. But yeah, we're gonna unbox it. I also have the Sigma 30mm F1.4 that I mentioned on my last video, which I love, so I'm gonna see how this looks on this camera. So let's just go ahead and get right into it. Alright you guys, so here's the box. I actually purchased this used from eBay. I'm going to go ahead and turn it around and see what's inside the box, so let's just go ahead. I'm really surprised to see that this came with like all the original manuals. It was in really good condition. The person that I bought it from said that they had purchased it from Best Buy and had only had it for about 3 or 4 months. So it is pretty much new. It comes with these external charger and it brought a couple of batteries. So let's just go ahead and open this baby up. Oh my gosh, here it is. Alright, so let's go ahead. I think this looks like the bigger part, so this is probably the camera. So let's just go ahead and unbox it. Oh my gosh, here it is. So it is definitely much heavier than the A5100 I replaced it for, but it's way lighter than my Canon one. So I'm super happy with it. I think I really like it. Also, all the things that I was complaining about on the A5100 are kind of better on this camera. As you can see, there's the viewfinder, the LCD screen is way bigger, the grip is much bigger, and it's just such a step up for me, so I'm super happy. Let's put this aside and see what the lens looks like. So it just came with the kit lens. I honestly think that I'm going to use this lens for a while just because I was looking for something a little bit wider. So this one is the 28-70 3.5-5.6. I think this is going to be perfect for what I'm looking to use this camera for. I kind of want to use it just for my everyday and hiking and stuff like that, just to have in my purse. So I think this is a very versatile lens, and it's pretty wide at 28, not as much as the 24, but I think it zooms in to 70, which is pretty nice for some shots. So as you can see, it looks almost brand new. I'm going to go ahead and take this out so you can see there's no dust in there or anything. And let's see the other side. I don't know why my camera's having such trouble focusing today, but yeah, it looks pretty nice. I'm super happy. So let's see what else is in this little box. I know she had like some batteries here. There's two. There's one inside the camera, and there's some little cables right here to charge the battery instead of just putting the batteries on the rechargeable charger. So that's pretty much it. As you can see, the box is empty. So now let's give this baby a try and put it on the tripod. Alright, so I'm actually filming on the camera right now, and it's really cool because I can actually connect it to my phone on the Image and Edge application. There's not much things that I can change on this, like versus my camera, my Canon camera, where I can like change the aperture, the ISO, even the focus mode, or anything like that. I can also just click on the screen and find my focus. On this, it kind of just shows me what's on the screen. I have really no way of doing anything other than taking a picture. If I even want to start a video, I have to manually just click the video button on the camera and then sit back down and wait for the camera to find the focus. So even though it is so limited, I feel like I have no issues with it. Let me just go ahead and connect the microphone because I just noticed I didn't plug it in. Alright, so hopefully it is working now. I have the camera set with the 28-70mm lens, and I'm just going to give you guys a couple of reasons why I chose this camera. The first reason was the price. I think that it was about $800 or $900 used at this point, and that's something that's, in my opinion, a little bit affordable. It's also like my budget, I guess, as much as I could afford. So I ended up getting this camera, which is, you guys saw, it was barely like new, for $800, which I think was a steal. And the person that sold it to me had 5 or 6 batteries with it, so that's something that's a plus because I've heard people say that this camera has really bad battery life, so I'm excited for that. I actually can't even see if I'm in focus or anything, but I am kind of like looking at my phone a little bit to see if I can just keep track that that is recording or anything, because it also doesn't have any like button or red dot or anything telling me that it is recording. So that's a little bit scary because I feel like if you're not paying attention, you could just keep talking as the camera turns off. I also don't know if it has a 30-minute limit on recording as my Canon Rebel T6i does. So that one shuts off for me, but I'm just paying attention a lot to when it stops recording. I can see it on the viewfinder as you can bring the screen out. But with this one, I obviously am just looking at a lens, which I think is a little bit less distracting for people that are actually watching me, because I continued to just look at myself on the viewfinder versus just looking at the lens. And I think that when I'm watching a video like that, I always get like a little bit upset. So maybe this would help me with that, to just get rid of those bad habits. So the other reason I got this camera is because I feel like it's so lightweight. I'm going to be able to take it with me, either going out to dinner, hanging out with friends, going hiking, or for like a social point of view where I want to have something with me that is light. I can throw in my purse. It can go with me on so many occasions, and I have the versatility of this lens, which is still the kit lens, but it's really good to just have that wide angle and then zoom in on those things that I really need to, if I need to. Even though I know it's for a social kind of way, I also want to start making more cinematic videos. I really want to get into that. I feel like it's been such like a long time feeling that I've had within me to just feel inspired every time I see someone do that, and I just never felt like I had the right equipment. I do have other cameras that are just so heavy that I never feel like I never feel like taking it with me. So with this one, I feel like it's going to be a step up for that. It also has image stabilization in camera, which is a huge plus, and it's going to definitely help me with the quality of the videos that I take. So I'm super excited. I also want to get more into manual focusing, and honestly, the lenses that I do have for my Canon are also very heavy. So when you have a very heavy camera and a very heavy lens, it's really hard to just get that focus when you're struggling to even hold the camera in the first place. So I feel like this setup is just perfect for me. I'm also able to now, shoot videos at home. Don't know if I'm going to be replacing this camera with my Canon for YouTube videos, but I'm definitely going to just have the option and see if that works for me. So that's a plus. So anyway, those are my thoughts on this camera. I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a background on to why I got it and why I'm pretty happy with it on 2020. And if you guys are considering getting it, just be sure to subscribe to my channel, because I will be uploading more videos with it, more comparison reviews, and even comparing it to my Canon 5D Mark IV and my Canon Rebel T6i. And yeah, if you are interested in that, then definitely subscribe. Now let's go ahead and see the comparison with the lenses, the 28-70 and the Sigma 30-1.4. So let's go ahead. Okay, so this is the 28-70. I have it set up right now with the shutter speed at 50 because I'm shooting 24 frames per second. I have the f-stop at 5.6 because I'm zoomed in all the way at 70, and I have the ISO on 200 because my house is basically really, really dark. So I usually try to keep my ISO on 100, but I feel like we're not losing any quality whatsoever. I have it at 200. So this is what it looks like. I feel like it's focusing really, really well. I can definitely see the just a little letters on that lens. So I'm going to put something side by side so we can compare how it focuses and everything like that. Okay, so right now I have it focused to my Canon 50mm lens, and I'm going to go ahead and try to change that to the left side. It's kind of struggling a little bit. I have no way to change this on the screen, obviously, because I don't have, it's not touchscreen. So I just have to wait for the camera to actually focus, and yeah, it's struggling pretty hard. So right now I have my focus mode set to zone. So if I had the camera on photo mode, I would be able to manually just move the focus to the left side, and that would be really easy. But since I'm in video, I don't have that capability, so I have to wait for the camera to actually focus. And as you saw right there, I press the shutter, it's focusing on the Sigma lens, and this slowly goes back to kind of that box on the background, which is not even something that I'm trying to focus. I think that if I had the Sigma lens more in frame, it would definitely not struggle as much, but yeah, that's pretty much what it's looking like right here. Now I want to just show you guys the capabilities on low light, because I did notice that it struggled a little bit, especially because my house is so dark. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off my light right here. And I'm going to bring the ISO way higher so you guys can start to see. Right now it's at 3200, and I'm starting to see a little bit of noise right there. At 4000 it is definitely more apparent, and at 5000 I say that, I don't think this video is pretty usable. So that's 6400, 8000, 10,000. Obviously, having something at 3200, it's a little bit high for me. I usually don't like I usually don't even go higher than 200 or 400 ISO, but that's just me. But just know that if you are going to be in low light situations and you are looking to get this camera, it is going to struggle just a little bit. And obviously we can't really change the shutter speed, and the 5.6 aperture is the lowest we can get with this zoom lens. Now if I zoom all the way out and it brings me to 3.5, this is how it's looking. Okay, now I'm going to switch the lens and I'm going to put my 30mm 1.4, and it's definitely going to look a little bit better just because of that aperture. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright guys, so I put on the 30mm from Sigma, and that is a lens made for ASPC camera. So I'm going into the ASPC size capture option on my camera, and I'm going to leave it on auto because it's going to recognize when a lens is for ASPC or full frame. Some people can turn it off and on, but I'm just going to leave it on auto, and I'm going to see how it looks like right there. Just for the sake of the video, I'm going to show you guys how it would look if it was off, so you guys can see the vignetting on these sides. And that is why I would like to have it cropped, because it's basically not usable. So as you can see, I am definitely able to use it when it's on ASPC mode. So let's just go ahead and go onto the camera and see what it looks like. Okay, so here we have the 30mm 1.4 set at the same settings that I had before. Now I'm going to change the f-stop to 1.4. I have my ring light off still, so you guys can see how much light is coming in. I have my settings at 50 shutter speed, 1.4 f-stop, and 200 ISO. So yeah, it's still struggling just a little tiny bit with the focus, and as you can see, it just fades off for some reason. It's holding the focus as I have the shutter pressed on that 28-70 lens, but as soon as I let it go, it goes right back to the Canon, and I don't understand why, but it is kind of doing that. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to take a picture. So it looks like I can't take a picture if I'm on the video mode. So yeah, that's, I don't know. Let's go ahead and turn on the ring light, see how it would look like, so I can bring my ISO all the way down to the lowest, which is 50. And my camera seems to have frozen. Okay, so now it's on 50. Oh, it doesn't let me do 50 when only 200. That's weird. It must be like some setting to do with the ASPC mode, because that doesn't really make any sense. So I'm going to bring it to 2.5, 2.8 f-stop, and leave the ISO on the lowest, which for some reason is 200. Now I'm really intrigued onto why it is 200, but yeah, this is how it's looking like. Surprisingly, the focus is a little bit better with the 30mm, and I'm assuming that's because of the light that's coming in, but it's still really, really soft and not as sharp than my other cameras and my other lenses. But I still think that it's very usable, especially for someone like me that likes to shoot wide open, and for portraits, this lens would be really, really nice. So yeah, I'm really happy with it so far. I enjoy the camera, I enjoy using it. Obviously, I have to play more with it, and I can't wait to just start doing that. So I'm gonna end this video right here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know it wasn't really anything, but it's just kind of like my first impression on this camera and why I got it. So yeah, I hope it helped you in any way, and just stay tuned for my upcoming videos and my reviews. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on my next one. Bye!